they're from Switzerland.
Good morning and welcome back to
Oh yeah, they are.
Windmill coverage presented by OLTTV here on the Windmill Rewind YouTube channel. I'd like to bring you our first action from the women's division of the morning after that thrilling mixed encounter between two teams that will see each other at Worlds in Glasgow and Sesquidistas. There's got another side going off to the World Championships in Cincinnati next month in Fabulous from Bern in Switzerland versus the Iberian team Enraladas. It's Benjamin Reese in the commentary booth, joined by El Shaq.
Hoi, hoi.
How you doing this morning?
Yes, pretty good. It's actually, I'm not going to say it's warm, but it's warmer than yesterday.
Oh, it's actually reasonably nice out here, which is
yeah.
something I will regret saying about 5 minutes.
I know, and as long as we also don't mention the lack of wind.
Oh, come on!
Because Liam did that in our first game, and as soon as he said it, it was instantaneous gale into our faces up here. As they move the disc very quickly.
Oh, that's a hell of a shot. Right corner of the back of the end zone. In stride for Ro Otero. Her knee's actually playing up a bit at the moment. You can see a bit of tape on it, but didn't really show any problems there.
That's right.
Nice, comfortable hold for Enraladas to start this game. Yeah, as we mentioned, the weather yesterday was pretty foul, in all honesty. It was cold and it was windy, but no such problems today. It's a bit milder. There's still a bit of a breeze about, but compared to the conditions we had yesterday, this is really pleasant.
Yeah, another beautiful day in paradise here.
So Enraladas, they're aiming for the semi-finals here this weekend. That's their stated aims, and they've had a pretty good tournament so far. And a statement win over a team like Fabulous, who were European champions only a couple of years ago, would be a big feather in their cap. Let's trawl back through the Windmill League Vine and see how these teams have got on so far.
That's right. So one team obviously a bit more tight in their uniform expectations. The World Clubs will definitely probably see both teams. All teams will probably be in a very complete kit. Where here at Windmill, the main thing is having your shirts, of course.
Bit more loosey-goosey in terms of.
That's right. It's free and easy out here.
So Fabulous going to work it down this near sideline. Italian fully finds Schnedel's going to shoot deep to the end zone. That's a nice put to this near corner for Deborah Brinker. And that's a pretty comfortable start for both sides, showing not any problems with the conditions or with either side's defense so far. We're tied up at 1 goal apiece.
That's right. Both teams almost scoring in exactly the same position on the field. It could be the excitement corner, as I might start to call it if it happens again.
We'll keep an eye out for it.
That's right. We're not going to mark the field, but we know roughly where it was. And
So
the scores are 1-1.
Both these sides coming into this tournament, coming into this game even, 2 wins and 2 losses. Fabulous currently sitting 6th in the Swiss standings. Enraladas in the danger zone. If my voice wasn't shot at the moment, I'd do the full danger zone.
Well, the highway too.
Yeah, they're currently sitting in 8th place. So right on the cusp of the brackets. If they want to make Windmill semis, they've got to have a good result here. Obviously, the way your coefficient changes depends on how well the teams you've played do. So you can never really know exactly what position you're going to be in after each game, and that's what makes the Swiss draw so exciting. So here's the Enraladas offense. It's a nice break towards this near sideline for Ayla Perez. Here's the all. Finds a dump option.
Oh,
That's a nice snag with one hand. And here's Perez, maybe thinking about a deep shot. Instead, just going to put it back in the locker for the moment. Gets it into the middle for Rabadias. Now Ferreira. Finds Otero on that far sideline. But going to roll a backhand into the middle, right in the middle of the end zone. Oh,
I don't know who's going to get the stat on that one.
Yeah, Perez and Ezio both right there. And in the end, it doesn't really matter as long as one of your teammates catches it. And actually, I've seen on more than one occasion, like both players pull out or they end up D'ing each other in that time. No such problems. So 2-1 here for Enraladas. See them on the replay. Oh, fine.
Yeah, we'll just share it.
We'll share it. Spread the love around. It doesn't count twice, though, unfortunately.
That's right.
So coming into this game, as we mentioned, both sides 2-2. Fabulous started with a slightly disappointing loss to Gravity 10-12, then beat Mantis 15-10, beat the Czech women 15-13, and finished their day yesterday with a sudden death loss to the Polish side Troubles 14-15. Enraladas splitting their games as well, also 2 wins and 2 losses, and they beat Mantis 11-6, lost to Gravity 13-14. Got a bit of a hiding from Gentle Ladies 9-15, but came back with a nice win to close it over Helsinki 11-9. So definitely a game we feel with those results could go either way.
Fabulous, moving the disc down through the middle of the pitch.
This is nice movement here. Enraladas.
That's right, lots of open space and cuts here. Now we're starting to see the congestion as they get closer to the end zone. But nice cut right into the corner and a lovely transition there.
Yeah, used both sides of the force really well in the end. Olivia Hauser fighting Kampfer for the goal. And when this fabulous side is playing their best, they're a really dangerous threat, but they didn't necessarily see that in last year's season. They really struggled a bit at UCF, much to the surprise of quite a few people. And it's partly because they were missing a couple of their key players. Players like Olivia Hauser and Yanni Kappelman were not at full fitness. And when you don't necessarily have some of your best players on the field, everyone has to take a bit more of a role, and it can be challenging trying to push those players and set them up into new positions. But obviously the advantage of doing that is when your top players do come back, all of a sudden you've got players who've got more experience of having to be a playmaker in such a dynamic threat, settling back into more transitional roles, and then they're more comfortable making those plays when need be. Ball goes up from Fabulous. This will be Enraladas' offense again. No turnovers, very clean so far. Going to start things off with an underneath pass. Dished off to this near sideline. Oh, going to take a deep shot. It's going to float a little bit. Oh, thought she was going to get a slack on it.
So close, but
Barty can make the catch regardless. Just didn't get enough at the disc. Just a split second too late. Runs it back off to Kendall Ferreira. Swinging it across the front of the end zone for the goal.
Now she can have the goal.
I thought that was going to be defended.
So close and a great effort. And I think probably the receiver may have been tempted to do the catch jump in, but I think because her opponent was so close, she just decided to make sure the catch was good.
Yeah, did the right thing there as well. Can't afford to hang about when there's defenders right in your back, and it's Kappelman who's just a split second too late on that shot, and then again, nice patience, take the reset off, and then with the force biting too far on the open side, take off to the break and collect the dish at the front of the end zone for the goal. So 3-2 so far, first 5 points, no turns.
It's Benji's first game for the morning. He's still warming up. Did you do your vocal warm-ups in the shower or anything this morning?
Oh, I was belting out some tunes. No, I wasn't, unfortunately.
Wasn't in the karaoke tent last night.
Oh God, no! Not with these pipes. I need to preserve it for the games this weekend. It's there's a bit of gravel in there already. I've actually been reasonably sensible so far this weekend. Reasonably. No one wants full sensible Benji. That guy's boring. So this fabulous offense, it feels like there's some cutters open and they're not being thrown to. And now the stall count's going to rise. Going to have to punt it deep. Oh, that's a nice punt though. And Anna Kampfer's going to run it down to the back of the end zone for the goal. Beat her mark this towel deep. That was a, yeah, sweet. Sweet as.
Count must have been getting a bit high.
It felt like they had options earlier in the stall, but I don't know whether it was a position they didn't like or maybe the force was just in the right place to stop it going, but didn't take it for whatever reason and chose to take the punt deep. And I guess when you can punt it like that, it's not necessarily a bad option.
That's right. It's going to pay off like that. So scores now tied again, 3-3.
Pretty fast-paced game so far.
Yeah, and it's really smooth transitions.
It's been pretty breakneck stuff early on, which is quite nice. It's nice to see teams finding their feet early. Often it can take a few points in the game for teams to really find their flow on offense, but whether this is a product of being ready and prepared coming in, or maybe just the defense being a split second too slow. Both sides felt like they had chances at their last possessions, but no one was able to get the break or even the turn. Here's a swing to Concept. Sorry.
It's all right. A bit of a zone D here. Probably the first time we've seen that from Fabulous in this game. It is very early on. It's been quick scoring, but that I was expecting something to happen and change with the defensive lines, just to add a little bit more pressure here.
Yeah, it hasn't happened as yet. Trevino finds Inez Gringle's going to be representing our continent in the Eurostars Tour later this year over in the USA. Oh, nice fake of the inside break, got the mark, biting and that allowed the space for the around backhand to go, and Bringle's running the show at the moment with Abadias at the back.
Yeah, back to match D here as they get very close to the end zone. 4.
Bringle takes the swing, gonna go to the right to this near sideline. Oh, just gonna give our first turnover, just maybe a little too casual with it. Yeah. Fernandez went with 1 and maybe she should have gone with 2.
Yeah, did grab the disc, just kind of stuck the hand out. Wanted it on a platter perhaps. It was like
couldn't quite close those mitts, and so first turnover for either side gives our first break opportunity. Fabulous looking deep. Rongi. Finds Coupleman going up line. A couple of receivers take off deep. She's going to put that blade.
But I don't think it's going to come back in.
And it's not going to.
Oh, and it went out very early on, unfortunately, for Fabulous.
Yeah, pretty much instantly right in front of our camera. And you can see that that's a nice shot there. She's just clearly a little bit frustrated with herself. And she knows that turnovers might be the premium the way this game's gone so far. And that's frustrating.
First 2 turnovers happening in this same point here. Both teams now with the opportunity to capitalise on the other's mistakes.
Swing into the centre for Pringle. There's Trevino. Looking around, going to take the reset back off. This is a patient start. Not really getting a lot of movement downfield. Finally going to gain some yards with a throw to Ro Otero. Oh, and was looking for Navassa on the dump, but the throw was behind, and it's another turnover. And trying to get the feeling that Campbell's will be even more determined now. Going to send Coupleman deep, but going to try and blade it to her. There's a couple of defenders there. Oh, she's winning the height matchup though. Goes over the top, not going to be quite in just yet.
No, had to definitely concentrate on catching that above the 2 defenders rather than try and jump in.
Yeah.
So it was not going to be an easy catch to me.
No, most important thing is always to get the disc and then work from there. You see so many players focus on getting it in the end zone and making the drop. Did the right thing there, going up and getting it, and then after receivers ran through, stepping around for that round backhand. And that's going to give us our first break of the game. Fabulous taking a 4-3 lead over Enraladas here. Benji Reese and El Shack here with you on commentary from Windmill. Second game slot of 7 again today on this Saturday, so plenty of stuff still to come, including quarters and semi-finals in all divisions. It's a jam-packed day of all.
I know. 14 more live games, well not 14 more, 12 is our current total, including these ones that we're currently streaming, so another full 10 games after these round.
And it's a sad day as well, so you've got no excuse not to sit in bed with maybe a cup of tea and whatever floats your boat, and just read the race and mingle last night, which is a lot of fun. Nice and round break there from Fabulous. Going to try and shoot deep. It's going to blade back in, and just a little bit of a misread, I think.
Yeah, just not quite going as intended. And perhaps the Fabulous player getting worked under a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Their opponent probably having a better read on how it was going to trail off at the end there and getting in a much better position, but...
So Enraladas have a chance to earn their break back and get things back on serve here if they can work the full 70. Fake around to try to initiate things. That's a lovely around break to get things moving. Just going into the middle for Rodriguez.
Oh, nice arms and stretching down there to catch it.
Yeah, full extension.
At her shins.
You know, just swinging about a bit more. Trying to get one underneath and just going to come steaming through and get a hand in the middle is Maria Rongi.
Great D there. And in a great position for Fabulous, right near the end zone.
Kammerman shoots for the back corner. That's right on the money. Nice little bookends as well for her troubles. Good old double happiness. And so Enraladas can't capitalise off that fabulous turn. And you see it here again. It's a beautiful blade arcing, perfect trajectory back into the pitch. So Fabulous retake the lead at 5-4.
Taking a little bit of time here at the waiting for the pull.
It wouldn't surprise me to see them come down with maybe a zone, just try something a little bit different.
They tried a little bit of zone early on. It was quite effective. So they might mix that back up.
Does it seem like they're just going to go?
No, it's
single coverage with it sagging off on the handlers.
A bit of a poach there.
And that seemed to work. The handlers stopped running through because the defender was already there, but the disc had gone and Fabulous get a turn in short order. Going to be brought in on that far sideline by Nunet. Lefty backhand is going to squeeze down that line. It's not going to quite get there. It's just a tiny bit slow.
Yeah, both teams starting to have a few mistakes start to creep in to their momentum, and
yeah, it's Kelly Moss wearing that shoulder brace. Enraladas who were able to get the D. That's a lovely low release on that flick. Swinging around the back again. Gesturing downfield.
That's right.
Ferreira trying to motion her cutters around. Here's Hotel. Good one-handed catch. Looking into the middle of the pitch again. A little bit spicy, but Gonzalez has showed pretty sticky hand so far this game.
It's a big hug.
Kendall
But
Ferreira
there
puts
are
it
a
deep.
lot of people down under that disc. Oh!
And in the end, it was Moss from the backside who got a hand to it.
So the player did go down, so I'm trying to work out if they're just calling the foul or whether affected the catch at all. She was almost by herself out there, but
it's always worthwhile having a talk about it, because even if you end up not calling anything or retracting it, it's always good just to try and work out exactly what happened.
so we'll just see the replay here now. That big hook goes up and the pack gathers underneath.
Yeah, massive humanity underneath it. I don't think that anything necessarily affected that Moss making the catch, but I think it's number 87 in the middle, Albardia, who maybe got a bit more of the contact than she wanted.
At one point she gestured to her ankle.
Mike, it should be 5-4 to Fabulous.
Indicating that perhaps someone hit the back of her foot and then she wasn't able to continue with her momentum, but it's now reached a contested call, so the throw will go back.
And a contested call is not necessarily a bad result. There's a bit of a feeling amongst some players that if you contest it, it means that you you couldn't necessarily make an agreement. Sometimes you agree that we don't necessarily know how much effect it would have had, and a contest is not an unfair result.
So we have here 87 already instrumental and involved in this point again.
And Hotel shooting down that far sideline.
Oh, that was a bit risky. We had so many players on the offense line running towards the same space there. I'm glad that they pulled out and didn't run into each other, as I have seen several times. Getting taken out by your own teammate is not a good feeling at all.
Three of them right there, but none of them able to come up with a disc, so another break chance for Fabulous. Try and swing it all the way across the end zone.
That's right, great pressure there on that day.
Yeah, not getting anyone really free downfield. That's a nice break. But again, there's no immediate continuation. And they're really having just to grind it out at the moment.
That's right.
Oh, steaming through, getting a nice high hand up there is Kendall Ferreira.
That's right, 13 for Fabulous, had done a massive cut, but was not rewarded by that, with the throw just going up over her head and getting defended.
Trying to find someone free in a reset space, still capitalizing. Goes for a weird
she did enough.
Just one of those things, I've just got to get it out somehow, and Canfield was wise to it. Took off a Lucy Ottal in that reset space, couldn't get forced the disc to her.
Oh, and she's gone for the long option.
Immediately shooting deep and just misread a little bit by Serena Schenk. And
I don't think she expected it.
No, well knocked up in coverage by Clara Gonzalez. So once more that Enraladas get to work on offense. This point's becoming a bit of a grind now for both sides. Here's Kendall Ferreira. Now Bardiaz on that far side. Swings back to Ferreira. 10-year veteran of the game. Looking for Hotel, jinking and jiving. Does get her on that strike out in the end. Dished back to Ferreira. Cuts coming from really deep, but there's not a lot going on. Just the wise thing about looking at the reset. Well, maybe try to isolate that a bit earlier, but it comes off. Moss again swing to the middle. Throw pops up a little bit, but is well caught. Just back into the centre for Artel. It's gonna.
Oh, and it's a nice put.
Shoot deep, and there's a receiver wide open.
The Fabulous plays in the end zone, just looking slightly stunned then. I'm not too sure if they are.
Yeah, not entirely sure what happened there on defense, whether it's just a breakdown or a busted coverage, but pretty sure Enraladas won't mind.
Yeah, they're not phased by that.
Having another look at here on the replay. Firing that flick into the zone for a nice easy goal.
So scores now again level, 5-all.
Ball goes up from Enraladas. A bit of miscommunication from Fabulous about exactly who's going to field it, but it's all worked out now. Here's Yannick Koppelman.
So defense slightly poaching off their players a little bit, giving them a bit of space on the handlers and just marking super tight on the downfield options. Happy to give away the little small throws upfield, but did not want this to happen.
No, the big has to go on a high. Still looking for Koppelman deep, and nice physical presence downfield. So do a lot of damage in the handler space. This time taking off deep and getting the job done. So again, not the most fluid of points, but didn't make any turnovers, and that's always a good sign for Fabulous, retaking their lead at 6-5 here. Enraladas haven't necessarily been that sharp on the D line. They've created turns, or they've generated turns when they've turned over on their own line, but have really struggled to cause confusion and disruption.
That's right. So a bit of talk happening now on the offense line. Fabulous defense has been really pretty good. And their zone has been working quite well. They've got some turns, but neither team's defense being hugely effective. Both teams just moving the disc really well, and that's probably why the score is 6-5. Very close game here.
You know, this side really able to force a large opening, and again, something a bit different here. Zone this time. Fabulous, 3 up front. We've got 3 roaming and patrolling the middle. We've got Brinker trying to guard that deep space. Going to transition now into going one-on-one. There's Ferreira. Running a bit of weave at the back with Trevino. Valverde. Oh, it's going to catch the dish off, but...
Yeah, just caught it out.
Too close to the sideline. Trevino couldn't get that outside foot up in time, and Fabulous going to try and get off to the races now. Score before the defense can get properly set. Here's Camphor looking for the back of the end zone. What a grab!
Sensational grab there, like grabbing it just with the fingertips and pulling it in as she was diving for that catch.
Oh, spicy, spicy stuff. Number 36, Flo Windler, had to make a hell of a play, and make a hell of a play she did. It literally says in our notes, best extended on one-handed catches. No idea how she does it. Well, that sounds about right to me.
That's pretty much a textbook demonstration of that coming up now.
See it here. Lays out. Oh, goes with the trail again. Oh, dirty stuff that.
So good.
Love it.
So Fabulous now extending the lead 7-5. As Benji dies quietly next to me.
What a grab that is. I mean, very much looking forward to that into the highlight reel later on today.
That's right. They can just show that over and over, actually. That was...
I mean, I wouldn't, because it's going to be so many, because there's literally already in the few games we've streamed, we've seen a lot of big plays, but that's certainly one of the biggest. Spicy, spicy stuff. Speaking about these notes, all teams have had to fill out roster sheets, and to say Fabulous have given us a bit of information is an understatement. That throw is up behind, and it's going to bounce off the hands, and chance to break for half here for Fabulous. There's a player wide open on this near sideline. Shrink goes to Schneider in plenty of space. And it's an injury call, I think.
Injury or foul call, probably. I think she just copped a cleat to the leg as the Fabulous player was trying to run past her. I think she accidentally clipped her on the foot.
Number 29. What's slower?
So just checking herself, and the disc is now back in play. So it's pretty congested down in the end zone, looking for an open player. Oh, no.
It was a lovely throw, that low release, inside backhand. It's a throw that pretty much every lefty seems to possess in their arsenal, and generally seems to be pretty devastating, but Avdukic couldn't make the catch that time.
That's right, and a lovely cut as well. And they waited for the open option, but unfortunately just dropping that catch. But in a good position to be on D in your offensive end zone.
Yeah, got to make the other team go the full length of the pitch, which is never an easy position to be in. Swinging around the back of Enraladas. Just trying to be patient against this zone defense from Fabulous. Gonna have to take a little pop off there, but not much really going on downfield. And I think maybe an injury call. I think maybe she's decided that she's not able to carry on. It's number 7, I think, Ines Pringle, the Portuguese Euro star, who's going to come off and be replaced by Kenny Ferreira.
Definitely walking a little bit gingerly there.
Gingerly is the exact description I would have used.
Oh, great minds. Still Fabulous, putting this pressure, intense pressure on.
I love how active they are on the mark. So many players see the mark as an opportunity just to have a little bit of a breather, but if you get really active, you get in their face, you get those limbs flailing around, it makes it so difficult to find a release point you know you're going to get away with. And this is really Callahan country.
I know, the pressure is mounting. They have been in this end zone for a long time now as they finally get the disc out, but not gaining too much ground. But
I think they did have a small window to shoot downfield, but rather than jam it through, they're being a bit more patient, and now they've just got this near sideline. They try and shoot a low, throw flew, just a bit too much Tabasco on it. Looking for Rodriguez, and she couldn't come up with it, and with the timeout to use. Fabulous are going to burn it before half-time, knowing if they put this in, they'll take an 8-5 lead into the break.
That's right, and they have just run super hard then with that defensive pressure in their offensive end zone. Looking dangerously close to getting a Callahan, but now back in possession of the disc, just in the back half of the field.
So let's talk about these roster sheets we have to fill out. Fabulous have given us easily the most information out of any team, and it's almost a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie.
It is. Every other team is a one-sheet situation. They're 2 full A4 pages.
It's wonderful. It's amazing. And
are they full sentences or?
Yeah, they're like their English is really good for a country not from. It's better than mine is. Put it that way.
Yeah. That's right. But so no dot points for them.
It's beautiful stuff. They've got.
It's like a little bio of each player, actually.
Like I'm finding out stuff like they've got a dolphin trainer on the team. Like, exactly, like stuff like that. And know how old everyone is, how long they've been playing, country of origin, which is mostly Switzerland, but there's a few others in there, which is cool as well to see a little bit of international flavour. It's lovely stuff. So thank you so much to the fabulous team for putting so much effort into this. It makes our job so much easier, which is lovely.
This time out, our cameraman having a little opportunity to have a bit of fun and shoot each other with water pistols like small children. They're enjoying themselves while they're able to have a little bit of a break from covering their beautiful live stream coverage of this game.
Actually, if someone could fill one of those water pistols up with some beer and bring it up here, I wouldn't say that. Is it too early for that?
Too early.
It's Windmill though. Like I'm on holiday. It kind of doesn't count.
I'm not gonna lie, Benji. You sound rough as guts.
I'm sensible.
Just putting in our drinks orders now. Benji's making the right choice there. I would have probably gone for a coffee actually, but.
Oh no, I'm one of these weird people who doesn't do hot drinks at all.
Oh.
Yeah. Having said that, as a true millennial, on occasion I am partial to a chai latte. So there we are. That's me being. That's my.
That's some insights
on
into
brand
Benji.
done for the day.
Oh, and it's a big hug here, but
Gonna shoot deep. It's gonna die towards that far side, and going over everyone. Well reeled in by the Austrian Schneidel. Oh, goes with a lefty backhand as well. Lovely bit of spice in there, and that's gonna take us into half. Excellent play drawn up out of that timeout. Had a receiver there like going deep to the break side, and they got it over there, and a lovely lefty backhand to finish things off.
That's right. Both teams now, after the timeout was called quite recently, not really needing a break from that point. So Fabulous just having a quick chat again. Their opponents just walking down to the line to set up. They're ready to roll.
That's the thing as well, is that it's especially important for Fabulous to punch that in because they're going to receive out of half, so they've got a chance to go 2 for none here. 2 possessions without giving their opponents a chance, and if you can capitalise on those, it'll be 9-5, and obviously no lead is ever safe, but with Enraladas sitting right on the cusp of the brackets, they can't afford to take a heavy loss here. Uses half-time opportunity just to let everyone know what we've got coming up on the stream. And back into the mixed division now. We've got another matchup between two teams fighting to make the brackets. Jogo Bonito Social Club, who we streamed yesterday against the German side. Haslika Erdferkel. And on this pitch, we're going to have Wizards representing Switzerland at the World Ultimate Club Championships in Cincinnati against Iron Horse, who were side who made the European Championships last year. And
Quite like that name.
yeah, a game that the algorithm will hail. Was predicted to go to Universe, so I mean, who am I to upstage the algorithm? It's given us some pretty tasty matchups already so far today. There you had a real hell of a game on this pitch between Glasgow and Saskatchewan. This game's turning out much the same way. I love the algorithm. For all the algorithm does is just pick the matchups. It doesn't choose which games get streamed. That's thanks to our team of commentators who've got a little bit of insider knowledge about what games we think are going to be good, and thanks to Tim and Elwyn back in the tent as well, who do an excellent job of making very prescient suggestions. Trying to get a nice variety of teams on the stream this weekend, especially teams that are going to the World Ultimate Club Championships in Cincinnati next month, as Fabulous are representing Switzerland. Swiss champions for 3 years in a row. They can try and make it 4 on the bounce this year.
That's right. So, despite not going back to their drinks and bags and heading straight down to the line, they're now taking advantage of this halftime break to come out fighting as they trail.
Yeah, they're going to pull to Fabulous.
8-5.
They're just going to work out exactly what they're going to do. We've only really seen Enraladas go one-on-one in defense so far. It wouldn't surprise me just to see them switch things up a little bit. Just throw a different look at their opponents. This is going to go up. It's a blading backhand. It's going to land in the middle and roll towards that far side. Well stopped. Oh, a little bit of a trip, but no harm, no foul. Here's Olivia Hauser. Looking downfield. That's a lovely around backhand right into space here. Just into the middle for Koppelman. Then Hauser. Those two looking around. Trying to find options downfield. Going to take the swing back. Nice shot towards that far sideline. Hauser's going to burn up the line. Not going to take the options. They're going to try and go for the backhand towards this cone. Another
there
big
she is
play!
again. This time going with the right hand. Last time was the left. It doesn't seem to bother her which way the disc is flying.
Another huge grab from Flo Windler, her second massive layout scorer of the game, and that's a lovely start to the second half of Fabulous. I must admit, when that disc went up, I was rather sceptical. I won't jive you, but just reeled in expertly. And I'll be honest, when your faith is repaid with catches like that, I'd be shooting deep for her pretty frequently, I reckon.
That's right, and into those safe hands, or hand really. I don't think I've seen her catch the disc with 2 hands yet.
I mean, why do you need to if you can do that all the time?
But always out, having to stretch, but always coming back in with the disc there. Here's number 36 for Fabulous.
Lovely, lovely bit of business, that. Very overcast here today, but nowhere near as cold as it has been the past couple of days, and that's partly because the wind has subsided somewhat. Pretty mercifully, I must say, actually.
Yeah, everyone's
pretty horrible
pretty
so far.
happy about that. It has been quite chilly here. Players not in any danger of overheating. Just twinged her knee there. I think, as she called it, already looks like she has an existing previous injury in that same spot. So
yeah, Carrigan not going into this, so not playing as many points as she might have done otherwise. And that throw's just going to be tough. Never really got going, unfortunately, from the hands of Carol Navassa. And Fabulous going to shoot deep straight away. If it can come back in down the sideline, she's towing it all the way down. And good spirit there, immediately signaling the goal. Yeah. Marie Rongi just tracks it all the way down the sideline, waiting for it to curl back in. It had a nice edge and it took it round the defender, alienated her from the play. And another break for Fabulous, who are rocking and rolling right now at a 10-5 lead.
That's right, it is not 19. 19-5 as the
scores. That would be surprising, I'll be honest.
I was very surprised when I looked across and I saw that, given that the highest it can be is a 15 score, as it is now correctly updated to 10-5. Fabulous starting to pull away here.
Yeah, seem to have found another gear that Enraladas haven't been able to match just yet, but we've seen quite a few times on the stream already this weekend that teams are really able to fight back from these deficits. But especially Enraladas right on the bubble of the brackets know that they have to fight for every point, because it's happened in the past where literally 1 point has been the difference between making the top 8 and not.
That's right, and still plenty of time left in this round. So not at all ruled out of having a comeback, but they will need to dig deep and take a bit more care with their passes, as the Fabulous pressure on defence has started to cause quite a few turnovers that they then capitalise on.
That's a nice shot there. He's going to pop it through into the end zone. That was a bit of a confidence booster there for Enraladas, much needed, and showing that they are certainly not out of this yet.
That's right, and beautiful movement and good transitions there. Clever passes and good decision making there. Brings the scores now 10-6.
Yeah, still a big deficit, but again, got that first point in, and so now I think, oh, we get this next point. That's going to improve our coefficient, then we get the next point, and then before you know it, you could be level or even leading. So, one of the things we're doing, obviously we're streaming 2 pitches at any one time, but that's a 10th of the games that are going on, which is not a bad percentage, but there's 20 games going on at a time here at Windmill. It's a massive complex, and there's so much ultimate to watch that while we're delighted to be able to bring you 2 pitches.
Oh, God, sold the dummy there with that fake.
Yeah, it's a nicely executed thing there, sold her all the way down the river.
The pick's been called, just working out which throw or possession, who had possession when the pick was called.
Yeah, and how it affects what went down.
It's a disc back in play.
Nice snag with the left hand. Oh, defender closed. I thought it was going to be an easy catch. Showed good closing speed, but couldn't quite get there in time. And it's going to be a goal for Fabulous, extending their lead now to 11-6.
That's right. What looked to be just a very open space catch was all of a sudden highly contested.
And it's good to see the hustle, because even though that time she didn't get the D, all it needed was maybe the throw to flutter a little bit or just be fumbled, and then there would have been an opportunity to knock it down on a second attempt, perhaps. So yeah, goes out with the right hand, and then continues it into the end zone, and just a split second too late. Strong hands to just snatch it away at the last split second.
That's right, great effort on defense there, but Fabulous coming away with the goal. 11-6. Again, the 5-point buffer.
So Fabulous will pull on this remarkably still day. There's a windsocks on those rugby posts behind us, which are completely calm. It's not moving at all, which is stark contrast to yesterday. Nice swing around. Going to get some movement downfield now. Enraladas going to go with that high release backhand. Here's Rodriguez. This is back to Lucy Otal. Slow throw, and again, dishing it off nicely between the handlers, getting upfield passes, and then giving it back to the handlers who are already looking at the field by the time they make the catch and can pick out their next pass. Otal once more with those highlighted pink shorts.
That's right, it's just easier to see when you're marking her up on D.
Going to shoot down that far side, and oh, the throw just Pops up at the wrong moment from the Enraladas perspective, but pretty sure Fabulous won't mind at all. Marching pretty much all the way down the pitch and just that one shot, maybe just a little bit rushed, not quite the execution required. So Fabulous can extend their lead here if they can get it the full way down the pitch. Going to scramble and poach around that stack. There's a swing to this near side, which they're going to take, and nice shot there down. Fakes the big.
Yeah, nice aggressive fakes there.
Just dished off in the middle.
Oh no!
And that one.
Just a little bit bigger than expected.
Yeah,
flying over the head of both people.
Looking for Serena Schenk, and in the end, no one's going to get there. So, Enraladas will get another crack at this one. Trevino will pick up once more. Forces backhand towards that far side, trying to trap them in that narrow channel. Good coverage downfield, looks to find Otal in the reset. She gets a little bit of space to get free. Again, just working it down that sideline, not being able to really get any continuation from these dumps into the middle of the pitch. Have to lose yards on that reset. Swung once more.
Nice put out in front. Oh no! I think she caught her, tripped over, and then couldn't get up. I'm not too sure if she caught her foot on her opponent though.
I think that seems to be what she's saying.
Yeah. So we might have a replay here coming up of whether there was some contact which caused her to stumble.
It's number 73 for Enraladas, Andrea Valverde.
From what I saw, it looks like she just fell over the ground, but maybe we might get another replay that is a bit more conclusive either way.
It was a nice effort to try and make the catch anyway. Down to that far sideline. Throw pops up ever so slightly, not a problem. Comfortably caught by Rodriguez. And Otel's going to shoot down that sideline once more. That's going to be nicely plucked down in coverage. Good field position there from Anna Kampfer.
A great read on the disc there. Just getting the hand up and popping the disc up.
Yeah, using all of her 14 years of experience to get exactly the right position on that defense. There's a player who's come free to the break side, forces a good job of dissuading that throw. So they're going to force it down that open channel. Reset space a little bit cluttered. Mentioned someone just cut through, but the still count rises. Just played it in the middle and was nearly caught anyway. Couldn't quite make the catch stick, so Enraladas will get the turn back.
No, good pressure on the defense there, almost trapping them right hard against that sideline. And shutting off the easy options, forcing that throw, which did not come off. And now back in possession.
Otal stepping around.
And a foul will be called on that as the offensive player ran into, or pushed into the defender as she threw that disc with her pivot.
Yeah, it's going to be a tiny bit of discussion here. Shrugging her shoulders a little bit. Uncontested. Foul.
No, yeah, foul called. So now they'll just need to establish stall count.
Very rare you see actually an uncontested foul on the mark from the offense.
Yeah. So coming in on 3.
Everyone's just going to reset to their previous positions. Otal picks up, looking for that inside break, and suspiciously open. Oh, I had to save the disc off the pick.
Pick called.
Yeah, did a good job making sure to keep the disc alive anyway. No chance of
that's right.
just not going to let them get a free turnover for nothing.
That's right, and that's great to see as well.
Nice heads-up play. So stay with Otal once more. Checks in again, looking for that inside break. Oh, what a throw, raking its way across the field. Now pointing where she wants receivers. She's going to take the reset to Otal. She's going to poach wide open instead, going for that inside backhand again, and it's going to pop up and go out of bounds. Just air-mailed it ever so slightly, and that was all it needed to take it over her intended target.
That's right, I think it's got a little bit of a rush of blood there. starting to feel that the momentum could be changing here in this game. And starting to fight, dig deeper.
Fabulous take the reset.
Yeah.
There's going to be a stoppage. Didn't see what the infraction was. Maybe a push-off foul. The receiver's actually nicely spaced out.
So I'm not too sure, yeah. Didn't see the hand signal then, but made up a bit of space between the two players.
And on a high store count, just lefty has to blade it into the middle and it doesn't come off. So this point's been to grind a little bit now.
That's right.
I think side's getting a bit of wear and tear in the legs. Lactic acid building up. Nice bid to try and save that from Marta Ortiz. Doesn't get there. Swing available. Takes the disc into the middle. It's number 4 set of Deb Brinker. There's the swing, and there's the deep shot going. It's going to be too far for everyone, though. At least from a Fabulous perspective, you're now no longer playing right in front of your own end zone.
You're not in your defensive half anymore. You're now in the good position where if you force the turn here, you can have a quick transition and score.
Yeah, calculated risk taking there.
Right.
It might not come off, but at least we're going to get good field position if it doesn't. So Enraladas now trying to get to work on offense. That's a undercut, was a little too far out in front. Nice sliding grab is gonna get the D in the continuation. Schenk got the D on that jammed strike cut up that far sideline. And so now they're working with the disc from about halfway. This is decent field position here for Fabulous. They've got the swing available. And they're just going to shoot deep instead. Oh, this is going to be spicy. Defender is on the backside, can't come through. You can see she's frustrated with herself, but the Italian Linda Raffili did an excellent job of getting position and never really gave the defender a chance at it.
That's right, just in a great position, read the disc well. Nice, strong attack of the disc as well. Didn't wait for it to come to her. She wanted that goal.
So good stuff that from Fabulous, getting another break to add on to their tally, currently taking a 12-6 lead, and unless Enraladas can find another gear, this could be a potentially devastating loss. They can knock them out of the bracket. The Swiss draw standings, every point's so important. You never want to be that team that just misses out. There's always one team that's the first team out, and you never want it to be you. Although we love the almighty algorithm, she can be a cruel mistress at times. Ferreira picks up for the Enraladas. Just playing it around the back. Looking like a 2-3-2 zone from Fabulous, 2 at the front, 3 patrolling the middle space, and a couple defenders lurking deep. And they do nice spacing there for Enraladas, taking the 2 deep defenders away and opening up some space in the middle. And now they're just comfortable swinging it around, going towards that far sideline. Here's Perez, tapping the disc off. Here's Kelly Moss. Really comfortable swinging it now. Not really doing anything overly expansive. So, Moss is probably proud of obviously wearing that shoulder brace. Hammer, not necessarily a throw that she has in her arsenal at the moment, although apparently her teammate's not too upset with that. According to the notes we were given. Oh, that throw might going to say a little bit. It's going to allow the defender to come through deep from the backside. Tatse Cerulli. And now they're off to the races. Windmill has it on his near side. With a couple of them downfield. Just going to run the strike all the way down that side. It's going to pivot out for a big backhand towards the far side. This is floating, this is spicy, and it's well reeled in by Fabulous. The Fabulous train keeps on rolling, and they're now 13-6 to the good. Oh, scintillating stuff from Fabulous.
That's right. Almost an hour of play, but close to just being a bit of a blowout here for Fabulous, leading 12-6. And not really having too much pressure on defense against them, and I think that has been the difference.
12-6. I made it 13-6.
I don't know, the scoreboard just was adjusted, but maybe they put it the wrong way round.
Just doing maths in my head now. the old head maths. No, it's definitely got to be off because it was 8-5 at half and Fabulous died up there.
Yeah,
so
it is 13, right?
I'm gonna trust my maths.
All right, we think it's 13-6. So our volunteers here.
Yeah, I think Fabulous is doing the same thing.
Yeah,
hang on a minute.
There we go.
Proven right once more.
Well done, Benji. Save the day.
Eat
That's
it,
better. 13-6. Yeah.
So single coverage look on defense this time, and
Pick called.
yeah, spacing a bit off there for the Enraladas. Vidigari Curtis was wide open underneath, and the defender's just going to catch up. See if Otel looking for that inside backhand that she seems to love so much.
Oh,
Shot comes
nice
down this
cut.
near side. There's a receiver open deep. They're going to shoot. Is it going to just stay in bounds? It just tails off at the wrong moment. Went for the greatest. I think she would have been out of bounds by the time she got in her hand anyway. But
Definitely.
I love the hustle.
That's right. You got to try.
So just right on that back corner. This is the one benefit, obviously, for the Enraladas. If you're going to turn it over, that is the place where you want to do it. On the cone, so you can really trap them on a sideline. Meli Nunat will pick up. It's actually going to come up just in front of the cone as it just went out and didn't come back in. Can take the dish off to Lazarak. Underneath, oh, nice pressure. Defender was on her shoulder all the way, and Tati Rodriguez comes steaming through to get the block there. And Ota's going to pick up in a very dangerous position here for Enraladas.
That's right, taking your time to get that disc, making sure they're settled. Don't want to rush this and turn it over.
And it's the inside backhand once more. What a throw right across, dissecting the middle of the field, and defenders can't close in time. And in the end, it's a relatively rudimentary catch for Andrea Valverde, and that's going to reduce the deficit now to 13-7, but still a lot of work for Enraladas to do.
Our scoreboard on the field has now gone back to 12. So, interesting.
Not entirely sure what's happened down there.
No, so according to the scoreboard, it's 12-7.
I've gone to our scoreboard, it's 13-7.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't trust them, but I am saying I trust me.
I was going by the scoreboard because it had been updated quite well until that last couple of points, so I don't know what to believe anymore. But either way, Fabulous are winning with a healthy lead,
So
whether it be 5 or 6.
Let's have a little timeout here. I think it's probably Enraladas who called this, knowing that if they can't get a move on soon, they could be closed out of the bracket. This is why Smith was exciting, because even though the win might be out of their reach at the moment, just getting these last few points that you might need is certainly not. A narrow loss can sometimes do almost as much for you as a win can, and rewards teams to Smith that play these continually tight games. At least teams that only lose tight games. Whereas other formats will punish you.
That's right, so still having their discussion. Up at the other end, the team that called the timeout, using the full time allowed.
Yeah, Fabulous clearly in no mood to hang about. They really are making full use of this time here, Enraladas.
Yeah, I have a suspicion that they would be getting a whistle quite a route now. They definitely have been going for a while. Fabulous starting to look around a bit as if to say, how long is this timeout going for?
Yeah, they seem they're just going to go make some final preparations and adjustments for this next point and for the rest of the game as well.
There we go.
So the Enraladas players finally clearing the field.
That's right. Still having a chat though. Maybe choosing the line-up there based on the fabulous O-line about who is taking who.
Yeah, just going to pick exactly the matchups that they want. Ball goes up and we are back underway. It's going to die and fade out this near side, and I'd imagine that, yep, there's the signal they're going to bring it in at the brick mark. It looks like some zone. You see they've got a player lurking deep, and they're going to try and stifle flow by clogging these throwing lanes downfield.
Again, the lack of the mark where the brick is just needing a little bit of...
Yeah, causing a slight issue.
Bit of checking with the opposition to see if they're happy with where you are. Bit of guesstimation there. It's Fabulous making pretty quick work of going through this zone.
Yeah, Kaufman and, you know, just dissecting this at the moment, just popping it all the way up, and now there's not a lot of space now, really congested on that front cone, and oh, Kaufman's going to put the hammer. It's a little bit dodgy and can't be reeled in. Could have done with being further out to space to the break side, but got it too vertical and too close to the defender, and the catch wasn't able to be made. It would have just been maybe been more beneficial just to take that reset off and try and swing it around a bit more. And tried to force it in there and couldn't get it to stick. So the Enraladas offense is going to get back to work. Ooh, that's nice, over the top there. I was hoping in the toolbox a little bit more expansive.
Oh, bit cold.
Just a little bit of confusion downfield.
Try to establish there what the impact of it was. Given the movement, the disc was really more across the field than heading in that direction.
Yeah, just trying to work out exactly where the disc is going to come back in from. And she's going to, defender's going to catch up, and she's going to maintain possession. And that's underneath there for Enraladas. Terro just dishes the disc backwards. Ferreira goes up the line. Timing on the cuts is deep, and a little bit of a travel there. Has to go and reset her feet. Squeezing into a tight window. Kaufman peels off. She's not going to get there. Oh, the throw's going to go all the way across the end zone. This is going to be too far. There's too much juice in it and not the right edge. It just sails out of the sideline. It's a bit of a waste there, it has to be said, from Enraladas, and Fabulous is going to get the disc back, but again, got to work that full length of the pitch. Zone comes back, and they worked it pretty much all the way up without any problems last time. And again, this front line of this defense is really loose, and it's creating plenty of spaces for handlers to crash through. Oh, nice scuba there from the lefty.
Held up a bit, but no defender was even in the area to knock that down.
The New Norton Koppelman absolutely marshalling proceedings at the moment. Going to take the swing off now. There's a player on that far side. As the player goes, she goes to be covered, it opens up a space in the middle. Sticking with it all the way to the end now. Finding me in transition. We're going to stop an instant score. Thinks about the hammer, puts it back in the lock. A good drop by the force, getting those hands up high. Oh, takes the reset. Snags with one hand.
Oh,
And shoot for the end zone. Oh,
good
strong,
grab.
fast hands from Yanni Koppelman.
The defender right on her heels.
The coach showing her charges exactly how it's done. So fabulous, stick another goal on the board.
That's right. Whether it's 13 or 14 is still up to debate, depending on what you'd have us believe from the scoreboard at the field. Still saying 13, although Fabulous and Benji and I'm pretty sure it's 14 as well. I think maybe that one of the points has been missed.
She just slips through the cracks somewhere, so to speak.
So if Fabulous score this, will be interesting to see whether that's game, according to them as well. And they're going to celebrate in a large fashion, or whether it's 14. We'll see from their reaction if they get this next point.
Enraladas going back to offense. Looking for a swing. Not seeing anything going on at the moment though. Going to try and pop one up downfield. It's going to go over. All of the Enraladas players. Are they going to shoot deep, trying to take it all in one go? It's going to hang a little bit. Defender gets too far underneath it. Well reeled in by Fabulous. Schneddle making the catch and going to take the reset here to Angie Ullman. Thinks about the inside to the front of the zone. Going to look it off. Still count rising. Trying to squeeze a blade in there. Oh, the defender caught face marking and is going to pay for it. Rafili gets another goal to add to her tally.
Great catch as he's falling down to the ground behind her defender. And I'm guessing that maybe the scoreboard is correct, or they're just going with what the scoreboard says, with 14-7.
So, having a little chat with our camera crew, we make it 15-7. The scoreboard disagrees, so both sides look like they're happy to continue. So it's going to go on.
So we are, you know, as those watching at home, probably keeping track. You get possibly a bonus point.
Yeah, free frisbee. Gotta love it.
Or maybe not, but until we watch the game from beginning to end again, we won't know ourselves. With players from both sides happy to continue on and say it is 14-7, so we'll go with that.
Looking for a swing into the middle here. Reset space is very cluttered in the end. They find an option down the sideline.
Yeah, and that cluttering as you were talking about there. Pick called and the player trying to just take a few steps to get closer to where she was and regain the lost distance.
Dished back off to Navasa. Here's Perez now. Low throw. Finds Kelly Moss. The American's going to shoot it back and into the end zone. Oh, it's going to hang a little bit.
Oh, no. Yeah.
A nice sandwich there.
But
a foul call, I think. Abadia saying that Koppelman caught her on the foot as she boxed out. They did a very good job of bracketing her, so had a very narrow space to go up, and that throw's going to be contested and sent back. Quick resolution there.
So a chance now. Oh, no, just turn straight away. Ground taking the disc out of action. And Fabulous now with possession and able to
seal things off if they can score here. Cerulli tries to squeeze it inside through the middle of the field and is knocked down. Nice smart defense there from Enraladas. Wise to that one. Swung to this near side for Navasa. Frontal Bardiaz in the centre of the pitch. Going to take the swing, it's a bit low, but ball comes by Ferreira, going to pivot around. Laser a flick to the sideline and then going to run the give-go. Gary Curtis going to shoot for the end zone. Oh, just coverage there, and it's going to be another foul call. It's tough to tell from this angle exactly how it played out.
I think even on the replay, it will still be hard to judge, given the cameras are also on the same side of the field as us. So players having a discussion here. Waiting for signals and the decision to be made about whether it's contested or not.
See it here on the replay. Or not.
Or not. That's, yep, that got us because...
in the end, it's just going to be retracted.
Yep.
So good spirit there.
Yep.
Giving up the call. So another chance for Fabulous to punch it in if they can go the full length of the pitch and really cement their place in the quarterfinals. This is the last round of Swiss draw before the brackets are set. Here's Kuppelman. Finds a cut coming underneath. Oh, toes the sideline. And not able to do it accurately enough was Avdukic.
Yeah, so a few good D here from both sides. The pressure's starting to show.
Oh, there's a pick there. It's going to stop flow pretty early on.
Yep, so quite a few calls and turnovers happening in this point.
Kappelman on the mark is going to check this in, or so it's going to work out exactly where the disc is going to go back to. I thought she was ready to go, but apparently not. It's going to stay with Clay Ferreira on this sideline. Going to find a cut from Perez coming underneath. That's active on the mark, get those feet nice and busy. Into the centre of the field. Oh, Kappelman comes off with a block, but I think a touch too late. And saying that she already had control. I'm not sure that Kappelman agrees.
I don't know if that was control. I thought it was just a very good intercept myself, but we'll see.
Very tight either way.
Yeah, see what the replay suggests. But obviously the players aren't guided by that, but by perspective of those involved and those around.
Very close either way, as it so often is. Still engaged in discussion about this. I'd be surprised after it goes on for this long if it doesn't end in a contest. It doesn't always pan out that way, but when these calls drag on, it does tend to be the result you get more often than not. Just a little reminder of games we've got coming up on the stream in the next round, going back to mixed for the last round of mixed Swiss draw before they go into brackets. So on pitch 5, where I'm going to be moving over to after this game, we've got Jogo Benito Social Club versus Hashlika Erdferkel. And on this pitch, we're going to have Wizards from Switzerland versus Iron Horse. So 2 games well worth sticking around for.
All right, players currently establishing the store count, communicating that to all players.
Yeah, just going back in the end on a contest. I say the reset couple was just a bit slow. She's been a ferocious force on defense, very tenacious.
That's right. We have 2 Ds on her stats there on that throw.
Should really have been caught. Oh, a bit was flying through just a second too late, but it wasn't. This point's dragging on a little bit.
That's right. It's probably the longest point in the game. Score is 14-7.
Enraladas swinging along the back. That's a nice backhand towards the sideline. Going to shoot there. Oh, it's going to pop up and
Yeah.
mocked up in coverage by Booker, making amends for that drop down the other end.
No one on down the field, just having to hold up the disc for a moment, but there's also no stall count on, so.
Watslow is just going to find a couple of minutes. Such a dangerous thrower with the disc now. Nice upline throw to Siruli. Tata Siruli. Looking around, not really seeing an awful lot. Takes the reset back. Definitely Nunart with a nice flat backhand. And has to Karini come and attack that just to stop the defender getting there. He's going to try and sing it into the end zone, and that's going to be game. Kazar Avdukic getting the job done there, and so Fabulous are going to close out Enraladas by a scoreline of 15-7. And in the end, Fabulous just too strong for their Iberian opponents here. They had nice patches at times, and we thought at the start of the game, both sides were going neck and neck. It could be tight all the way up until the finish, but in the second half especially.
Yeah, that Fabulous defense just making the difference there.
Yeah, that's going to bring a conclusion to this game. Thanks very much for watching. Got a couple of mixed games coming up next. I've been Benjamin Rees.
And I'm El Shaq.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in a bit.
TV.